Good morning, everybody. My name is Penny Haughan. I'm the Pro-Vice Chancellor for Student Life and Learning at Liverpool Hope. You're very welcome to Liverpool Hope. I hope I can share a little bit about our institution with you this morning. It's a real privilege to talk to you all. I always speak to people who come to our open days just to give you an introduction to the university. This is obviously a very unusual way for us to do it because normally we love to welcome you onto our campus. We love to meet you face to face. Liverpool Hope is all about personal relationships, getting to know people, being part of the community. So working in this way is very different for us, but I hope I can give you a flavour of what Liverpool Hope is like. And then I hope, you know, in the future that you might be able to come and visit us. So on my screen at the moment, I'm sharing with you some of the statistics about the university that we're particularly proud of. We're particularly good at employability at Hope. You can see that we're second in the UK and first in England in the last Destination of Leavers survey. You can see that The Guardian made us the top university in Liverpool. And you can also see the badge for our TEF Gold. Now, TEF is the way that the government manages the quality of teaching and learning and the student experience at universities. And we were very, very privileged to receive a gold badge for our student experience and our teaching. So that gives you a mark of the quality of what we're offering, but also that's an external mark of quality that's given by the government and by large panels who make those judgments. So obviously we're very proud of that. And I believe very strongly that that's a real reflection of what we do at Hope. So teaching is our top priority. You can also see that we've got some great scores for student experience. So in the top 3 in the Northwest, again, you can see our 98.1% of graduates in further educational employment. And you can see that we're in the top 3 in the Northwest for graduate prospects, according to the Sunday Times. So a real focus on student experience, on the quality of teaching, but also on what you're going to do when you leave the university. We're really, really proud of these statistics. And I hope it embodies what you're going to experience with Hope from going forward. The place to start is the fact that Liverpool Hope is obviously within the city of Liverpool. We're really proud of being part of the city, and one of the things we love to do is to take advantage of being part of the city. So we try and get our students to go out and to work with organisations within the city, to take advantage of all the wonderful cultural and sporting things that there are within the city. So we have a very strong partnership, for example, with Everton. We have partnerships with National Museums Liverpool, and lots and lots of partnerships with other organisations within the city. And one of the great things is that we're able to use those partnerships to the benefit of our students. What's also really important is that Liverpool is a great city to be a student in. It's very student focused. Those of you who live here, you'll know that students are welcomed in the city. For those of you who haven't visited Liverpool, I'd really encourage you to do so once it's easier for us to move around. But it is a great city to be a student in, and many, many students here having great experiences. Bringing it a little closer to home then, let's talk about Liverpool Hope. We think about ourselves as a village in the city. So we're very privileged to have some sites very slightly outside the city centre, but where we can have beautiful campuses for our students to live and work on. We're a community of about 7,000 altogether. But one of the things we're really proud of, and one of the things that's really important to us, is that we know our students. So we don't want to be any bigger than we are now, because one of our key things is about knowing everybody. So knowing everybody one by one, and being able to build relationships with you as students, but also to be able to make sure that we know about you personally, your progress, and what we need to do to help you develop academically. The other thing that I hope you'll be able to see as we work through these slides is about our campus. So I've got lots of lovely pictures of our campus. In fact, you can see some of our students enjoying one of the beautiful parts outside the Vice Chancellor's office. On the side of the screen there. We spent about 35 million over the last 5 years to improve our campuses and that's all been channeled into things which improve the student experience. So some of the things you can see there that we've done, we've built an £8.5 million health sciences building, so completely new facilities for anybody who's thinking about studying any of the health related subjects, sport rehab, sport and exercise science, nutrition, biology, so on. 5.5 million went on our sports complex, so full gym, full sports hall, all sorts of facilities in there, which we'll be able to show you. And then more recently, we've just spent 3.5 million on our creative arts centre. So if you're thinking about studying drama or art or music or any of those subjects, you'd be part of our creative arts centre. To put that all in context, we have 4 campuses. We have Hope Park, which is our main university campus. It's where all the university administration takes place and where most of our teaching for a range of subjects takes place. We also have our creative campus, which is what it says on the tin. So it's where our creative and performing arts subjects exist. It's towards the city centre, but in beautiful gardens that you can see in that picture there. We also have Egberth Park, which is a residential campus. It's about 3 miles from the city centre, equal distance from Hope Park. We tend to use that for students who want to live away from where they study, so it's a little bit removed from the teaching campuses. It's quite commonly used for postgraduate students or continuing students who are returning into the 2nd or 3rd year. We also have a 4th campus, which is Plas Cardean, which is our outdoor centre in North Wales. It's a beautiful old manor house. You can see a little bit of it there. We use it for students to do fieldwork trips. So if you're a geographer, for example, you may well go there to do some of your outdoor work. But we also use it for study retreats for students from all sorts of subjects. So it would be very common for students in English or history or subjects like that. You just go and spend a few days studying or reading together at Plas Cardean. Really beautiful place, a really great opportunity for you. So seeing as we can't be on the campus today, I just thought we'd include a few pictures of various places so you can get an idea. So this is a selection of pictures of Hope Park. You can see the clock tower, which is the traditional iconic picture that we use at the university, but you can also see some of the other spaces that we have. So on the bottom right hand side, you can see the sports centre. You can see on the bottom left the library. If you look at along the bottom of the pictures, you can see a small statue in the courtyard. That's our library courtyard, and it's where we celebrate graduation every year. And students gather there and all the hats are thrown in the air. It's a wonderful day. But I hope you can see that we've got a really great selection of buildings and of places for you to live and study. In the centre of the screen, you'll also be able to see our new physiotherapy and sport rehabilitation labs, which is one of our latest additions. So Hope Park's a beautiful campus, a lovely place to study, and I would encourage you to come and visit us there once the restrictions are lifted a little more. We've also got the creative campus, which has been newly refurbished. So this is our creative campus. You can see again, it's set in lovely gardens. It's in the city centre, so it's just along the road from the hospital. It's a site that we've completely regenerated. So we bought it from the city council for £1 about 20 years ago, and we've been refurbishing it ever since. We've built it so that it has great outdoor spaces for performance. So you can actually see some of our singers by the fountains there at the bottom. But you can also see inside that it's fully updated with all of the appropriate equipment. So in the centre, you can see our graphic design studio. You can see some of the students' social spaces. And you can see that there's a great deal of facilities there. You would also, if you go, be able to see the drama theatres, the art studios, the music spaces, and so on. So this is a really lovely place for students to live and work. Plas Cardean, I mentioned before, it's our campus, it's in Snowdonia. You can see there some of the students doing canoeing at the bottom there. Lots of places to do student-related work. One of the things that we're really proud of is the fact that we have Duke of Edinburgh status. So we can award Duke of Edinburgh Gold Awards. One of the things we use Pascadeum for is the expedition elements of those awards. But more generally, if you're interested in doing a Duke of Edinburgh, we can facilitate that for you at Hope, and you can do it alongside your studies. If you're in the middle of doing one at school or college, which you haven't finished, we can pick that up for you and make sure you get it finished as you do your degree. So you do need to consider that as an opportunity. For those of you who are not from Liverpool, just give you some idea about where we are located compared with other things that you might have heard of. So on the map on the right hand side, you can see number 1 is where Hope Park is. So we're situated in Childwall, which is one of the suburbs of Liverpool. Our creative campus is right on the edge of the city centre, as I said to you. So that's at number 2. And Egberth Park is labelled number 3 on this map. So you can see that there's a triangle. We have a shuttle bus that moves between our 3 sites during the day to make it easy for you to move between them. You can also see that we're quite close to the city centre, and the shuttle bus will take you close to the city centre with everything that offers. And you can also see the 2 football grounds at the top there, which are obviously quite a draw for our students and for the community. So lots of things to do, easy transport within Liverpool to get to them, lots and lots of things to be interested in as a student. Okay, so studying at Liverpool Hope. Liverpool Hope is probably a slightly different university than some of the others that you might meet. We have quite a different approach to how we ask students to study. It's a very personal approach. So we are really, really keen that we get to know you, that you get to know us, that you know your lecturers, that you feel that you can drop into them and have conversations with them. So knowing you is a really important part of what we do. And part of how we make that work is that we have a weekly tutorial in each of your units of study where you meet your personal tutor. So every week you will meet in a small group with your personal tutor, and the personal tutor will help you with things that you are struggling with. They will encourage you academically. They will make sure that you've got the resources that you need to study. And they'll also take you through an academic program of development. What that does is it allows you to get to know them very well, and for them to know you, and also for you to get to know that small group of students, so that you have a real core of belonging within the university. So we like you to get to know those people. We like that to be a really strong part of what we offer, and it means that we know that people know you, and that's really, really key. So we will know who you are, and we will be watching your progress, and we will help you in any way we possibly can to make academic progress. One of the other things we're really keen about is to make sure that you get the absolutely best academic experience you can. So we encourage all of our top researchers to be teaching in classrooms. So you will learn from top professors. We have very, very few teaching assistants at Hope. We rely on our full academic staff to deliver to every single level of the curriculum. So it would not be unusual for you to be taught by top professors, both at level F and level C. So in the first year or the foundation year, those professors are teaching there just as much as they're researching and teaching final year students. It's really important that you know that our top academics will be teaching you. Got a huge range of opportunities for you in the curriculum, outside the curriculum. Obviously, it depends very much about what subject you're studying within the curriculum, and you can visit the sessions that my colleagues are running today to find out some of those things. Outside the curriculum, lots of clubs, lots of societies, lots of opportunities for experiences in volunteering, in service work, in travel. I'll come back to that in a second, talk to you a little bit more about it. We want to challenge you. We're interested in people who want to learn, in people who want to have an excellent academic experience. Doing a degree isn't easy. It's a difficult study, that's deliberate, but we will give you every single bit of support we possibly can to help you along that journey. So we want you to be challenged, we want you to become excellent academically, but we will help. We will be there for you. This is a personal experience, a journey between us. We think that Hope is a distinctive place of learning. We think that the things that we do in the classroom, the way we teach is really different. We also think that we have a beautiful environment, which is very distinctive, and we try to include that environment in your experience at Hope. So we have a really distinctive way to help you learn. And the other thing we have is what we call an integrated curriculum. So rather than you studying lots of small modules and collecting those together and being assessed over and over again, we have an integrated curriculum, which means that you have a year-long program of study in your subject, which allows you to delve deeply into that subject. And then your assessments come along the way to help you with progress as you go. So the curriculum is integrated, it's year long, and it's not broken into small chunks. Indeed, we're in extraordinary times. In March, we had to take the university online very, very quickly, as I'm sure you'll realise from the current situation. It's brought incredible challenge to everybody. We've done everything we could to support our current students. We've tried to look after them through all of their experiences. We've communicated with them every single day during the weeks, during term time, and we're still communicating with them now and telling them what's going on. We had all sorts of things that we put in place, some of which we were using already and some of which we put in place deliberately to help us with the current situation. So we've hired out laptops to students, we've had increased counselling services, we've run all of our academic classes online, students have had opportunities for one-to-one tuition online. Our careers service is completely online and ironically is even busier than it's ever been. We've postponed our graduation ceremonies. We would usually be running them in July, and we've moved those to December because we really want to celebrate with our graduates. So rather than just cancelling them, we've just moved them. So we're going to do them in December instead because we want to have that moment of celebration with our graduates. We've also put a lot of support into the accommodation service. So some students went home very quickly, but quite a lot stayed, and we've been working with those on campus to keep them well, keep them occupied, make sure that they have everything they need, and a huge team of staff have been involved in that. Some of the other things we've done have been around actually academic support for students. So we've reviewed our regulations to ensure that students don't have barriers to progression. We've also reviewed how we've dealt with our degree results to make sure that students had opportunity where they were struggling in COVID scenarios, so that our students have had opportunity to get their degrees. And it's been a really big task, but our students have really appreciated what we've done. We've had a lot of wonderful letters of support. So it's been a difficult time, but I think we stood by our students and we continue to do so. Moving on, a little bit about our academic staff. If you look on the right-hand side of the page there, you can see a picture of the full academic staff on the steps after graduation. So that was a year when we were graduating at the Metropolitan Cathedral. If you look carefully in the front, you'll be able to see Professor Pillay, who's our Vice-Chancellor, who's the gentleman there with the gold stripes on his gown. This is the full staff, and the reason why I'm showing you this is, you know, the full staff in their full academic regalia. So everybody wearing their gowns from their various different places where they got their qualifications. We're very proud of the fact that we're 12th in the UK for the percentage of our academic staff who have doctoral qualifications. So well over 70% of our staff have doctoral qualifications. Those who don't are generally people from professions. So lawyers, head teachers, people like that. So our staff are incredibly well qualified. And as I said earlier on, those staff are in your classrooms. We have a staff to student ratio predicted for the start of 2021 at 1:14, which again is really excellent from a higher education point of view. And we have a wealth of academics from a huge number of different countries. So we're recruiting the best academics from where we can find them in the world. So that they can be in classrooms teaching you. I said I'd come back to a little bit about the opportunities outside the curriculum. So we have a student union, very, very active student union. They look after your student experience, they support you, they run campaigns, they run all of our clubs and societies. So we have an absolute wealth of sports teams, very successful sports teams. You have a wealth of clubs and societies. You can start your own society. So if you write an application to the student union, they will help you start your own society. Lots and lots of different ones, far too many to mention, but the Student Union can talk to you about those yourselves. My favourite one is the Chocolate Lovers Society. I quite fancy being a member of that myself. We also give you the opportunity to study abroad. Now, obviously, under the current circumstances, that is not as easy as it normally is. But we are expecting to send students to study abroad in the second semester this year. And we also receive students who study abroad from institutions across the world. So by the time you're ready to come to Hope in 2021, I'm hopeful that that program will be fully active again. You can go to countries as diverse as India, America, Sri Lanka, parts of Africa, all over the world. We have opportunities for you. We'd encourage students to do that in their second year. So some students take half their second year and go abroad. Some choose to take their whole second year. I think it's a great opportunity. I'd encourage you to consider it. We also have SALA. Now, SALA is our Service and Leadership Award. It's open to every student registered at Hope. It's an extracurriculum program. It allows you to do volunteering activity and to have it recognised formally by the university. So we give you all sorts of training, and then we send you out on volunteering projects, and then you have an additional certificate alongside your degree certificate when you finish. It's very popular and very valued by employers. We have lots of positive feedback on it. Alongside study abroad, we also have a university charity called Global Hope. Global Hope offers students the opportunity to go abroad to do service work. So you can go to destinations such as India, Sri Lanka, Uganda, many others, Peru, Brazil, all sorts of places, do volunteering work. So work in schools, work in orphanages, work to support students in those countries. And again, we use that towards the Service and Leadership Award, and we recognise that as you graduate. As you might expect, we have a huge wealth of support services which are there to help you. So learning support services, financial support, lots of students value being able to talk to somebody about their finances. Really, really successful careers and employability service, as you can see from our statistics, but support for mental health issues, counsellors, support for disabled students. It's also worth saying that our halls of residence are overseen by a group of resident tutors who live with you in the halls of residence. So there's always there somebody there 24/7 if you need help. And they will encourage you to be part of the resident community, to get embedded well into the university and to work with your colleagues to do all sorts of different projects within the halls. So I guess most of you out there are looking for entry in 2021. At the moment, we don't have an agreement on entry profile for 2021, but for 2020, these are the levels that we're looking at. It's obviously quite complicated. We're aware that many of you are doing mixtures of qualifications, which means that you need to think quite carefully about how this translates. My advice is, if you're worrying about what qualifications you will have and what points you have, that you contact our admissions team and they'll be able to talk you through it. But you can see the sort of level that we're looking at in terms of entry. So for most of our courses, that would be a BBC, but for some of the other more specific courses, you'll find that it's slightly higher, and you can look at the published information on that. One of the things that we've started to offer over the last few years is our degree with a foundation year. So if you really, really want to come to university, but you haven't quite got the qualifications yet, or you're a bit nervous about entering straight into the first year of a degree, you can come in on a foundation year, which is basically a preparatory year before you enter the first year of the degree itself. That is attached to the vast majority of the subjects that we offer, and you'll be able to transfer straight into the first year level C of the honours degree, provided you successfully get through your foundation year. And the important thing is that the student loan system works for foundation years as much as for traditional 3-year degree structures. If you go to the subject talks today, they'll be able to tell you a little bit more about that. Over and above the foundation year, we offer a range of degrees, which you'll be able to see within the prospectus, but obviously Bachelor of Arts degrees, Bachelor of Science degrees, Bachelor of Engineering. Some of you out there will be looking to do a teaching qualification, so our Bachelor of Arts QTS gives you qualified teacher status. We also have a range of postgraduate provision, so master's provision, PGCEs, MEngs, and so on. One of the things that we've also been doing in the last year is working on a suite of integrated master's courses, which allows you to register as an undergraduate student, but actually leave the institution with a master's degree. So 4-year programs in the main, working straight through from first year undergraduate straight through to masters and ending up with an integrated master's degree. And my colleagues can talk to you about that today. We've also been working to ensure that the vast majority of Hope courses can be interrupted by a year in industry or a placement. So if you're interested in stopping for a year in terms of study and doing a placement year, we can facilitate that on all of our provision. So having done all that and reaching the end of your degree, which at the moment I think probably seems like an awful long way away, but if you talk to our graduates from this year, I'm sure they'll tell you it's gone in no time. The latest Destination of Leavers in Higher Education statistics quote that Liverpool Hope, 98.1% of our graduates are in employment or education 6 months after graduating. We're second in the UK for graduate employment, and 83% of the graduates were in what is described as a graduate level employment. So we're obviously very, very proud of those statistics. We also have a very active employability service, which is based in the centre of the university, which can offer you opportunities as a graduate, but also internships, placements, casual work, vacation work, work experience while you're actually on your degree. So the careers service work really hard to try and give you that experience while you're studying so that you've got it as you leave. So in summary, Liverpool is a great student city. Lots of people come to Liverpool as a student and never leave. People find a home here. It's a place the city loves students. We at Hope are a close-knit community. We know our students. We will care for you. We will challenge you academically, but we will make sure that you're okay. Our campuses are safe and secure. There is security on our campuses 24 hours a day, every day. Our graduates are very employable and the statistics show that. We give an excellent student experience. You will have a great time if you come to Hope. And we want to recognise and reward achievement and excellence. So high quality academic experience with a great support network. So there's all sorts of things you can do today. I want you to go out there and see Hope as best you can under this virtual environment. So you can do virtual campus tours, so you can go and have a look at some of those things we've talked about. You can go and listen to the departments talking about their subjects. So you'll hear all about whatever subjects you're interested in studying. You can talk to us about accommodation. There are some of our current students online out there to answer your questions. So you might not want to ask me a question, I understand that, but why don't you ask some of the students the questions? They'll give you the real answers about what it's like at Hope. And you can talk to the support teams in careers and student development and so on to make sure that you've got the advice you need. Obviously, you're about to make a really big decision in your life. And one of the things I'd encourage you to do is to keep asking questions. So ask questions today, ask questions in other institutions that you go and have a look at. Keep asking questions till you're sure whatever decision you're going to make is the right one. It needs to be the right one for you. So thank you very much for listening to me. I hope that's been helpful. I'm going to hand back over to Sarah so that she can talk to us about some of the questions which have come out of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Penny. So just 4 questions throughout the session. The first question was, is there transport help for those who won't be living on campus?
The university shuttle bus is open to any student, and the locations of where it moves from allows students other than resident students to pick it up. Certainly, yes.
Yeah. Second was, how far away are the 2 teaching campuses from each other?
They're probably about 3 miles, I would think. But again, the bus goes backwards and forwards between them during the day. So if you do need to move between them, it's easy to do that. What we try and encourage people to do is, if you're studying the creative subjects, we'd encourage you to live on the creative campus. If you're studying the subjects that are taught at Hope Park, we'd probably encourage you to live there or at Egberth. But moving between the two is easy.
Third question, is the Global Hope scheme during the summer?
The Global Hope scheme is outside of teaching time. So we would start, in a normal year, we would start sending Global Hope missions out probably at the start of June. So as exams finish, the Global Hope trips start to go in succession. So people usually go for about 3 or 4 weeks. So the first ones would go the start of June, and then successively further trips would go throughout the summer. So there's no interruption to teaching time on that. But yeah, between June and the beginning of September, most of them would go. Obviously, it depends a little bit on which country you're going to in that time, but it's definitely outside of teaching time.
And final question, can you still apply this year to start in September?
Yes, you can still apply this year to start in September. It's very straightforward. You can talk to our admissions team and they will help you do that. And I would encourage you to do that if you're ready to come.
That's everything from questions. Oh, we've just had one quick one just come in. The student says they live in Southport. Do I qualify for student accommodation?
Yes, we would guarantee every student coming into the foundation or the first year accommodation. I would encourage you to live in the halls of residence. I think that that's a way of making friends, of becoming part of the community. And I think that you would enjoy the experience, the social life that goes alongside that. So I would encourage you to do that. But yes, as a first year student, we guarantee you accommodation.
Brilliant.